Stand the f up. So, as you guys all know, there was a recent trailer that was just dropped by Steel City Interactive showcasing some new footage of eSports Boxing Club, the upcoming new boxing game coming out later this year in 2021. Now, I've been getting a lot of requests from all of you guys wanting to know my thoughts and how I feel about this new game coming out. So we're going to break down this trailer and I'm going to share my thoughts and what I think on where this game is going to go and the future of esports boxing. So let's get straight into it. No BS, straight to the point. Let's check it out. The first thing that they talk about in this trailer is the roster. And I want to point out that I find it very, very impressive that Steel City is able to get this many quality boxers in the game on the first time game, on a first time startup project, which to me goes to show the level of dedication and love that they have towards the sweet science and how much consideration they have for us gamers as to get these legends and current fighters in the game. Right now, I believe they have over 200 fighters and more coming. And they've also signed the biggest name in boxing today, which is Saul Canelo Alvarez. And right there goes to show you how serious they really are on bringing a quality roster to a new boxing game. And this really, in my opinion, points out the level of hypocrisy that EA Sports brings with the Fight Night games when they tell people that they don't have enough money to sign these kind of fighters, when here Steel City is doing this on a startup budget, and that is insane. I just think that, you know, with these kind of amount of fighters in this game, there's going to be a lot of divisions, a lot of opportunities for content, and just opportunities for gamers to really break down different types of fighting styles, different types of strategies. It's going to get deep. And one thing that I really like about the roster right now is the women's division. In my opinion, the women's division definitely is the best video game roster I've ever seen. You've got Claressa Shields, the GOAT, who's currently taking over both boxing and making her foray into MMA, who just won her first fight at the time of this recording. Then you've got the current WBC, I believe 147 champion Jessica McCaskill, who just won a victory over the undefeated Cecilia Brakas. You've got Katie Taylor, who is, depending on what time of the month it is, it's either the #1 or #2 pound for pound fighter, depending on, you know, what the rankings are at that time. And then you've got Chris Cyborg, which shocked the hell out of me because she usually shows up in a lot of different sports as it is. A lot of people don't know that outside of her MMA experience, she also has a lot of kickboxing experience, and she also has an impressive sparring fight against Claressa Shields if you look it up on YouTube. And then you got Franchon Cruz, who gave Claressa Shields hell in her very first debut pro fight. And I hope they get a rematch because, hey, those girls were out there swinging and banging. And I think it was only like a 4 or 5 round fight. And honestly, you know, we need more of that. So I hope they get a rematch. And then some other notable names. I see Sinisa Estrada, who's also the undefeated fighter who she just recently got known for knocking out someone in less than like 6 seconds. And then other fighters in other divisions that I thought were very impressive. They got Juan Manuel Marquez, who I don't believe has been in a Fight Night game ever. They've got Lomachenko, who's going to be his first debut in a video game. And one person that I'm personally excited about is I'm really excited to play as Edgar Berlanga. And in case of you people who don't know who he is, he's a fighter that has, I think he's 20-0 with 19 KOs, with all 19 KOs in the first round, which is amazing. And I think that that's going to be a very highly picked character in the game, especially when it comes to the Canelo Cheesers, because believe you me, the Canelo Cheesers are coming to eSports Boxing Club. So everybody who's picking up that game, be ready to get your Canelo cheese, your anti-Canelo cheese ready, because it's coming. Other fighters that I'm excited for, Eric Morales. I liked him in Fight Night a lot, so I'm really happy and excited to use him. Oh my God, there's just so many. Nonito Donaire is another one, and I hope they get Naoya Inoue in the game. That would be great for that division. And the heavyweight division, Riddick Bowe, which let me tell you, I have not seen Riddick Bowe in a video game since I played Riddick Bowe Boxing on Super Nintendo. And a lot of you people may not know that, but yes, Riddick Bowe actually had his own video game on the SNES, and I believe that this is his return to video games since then. Hopefully we get Mike Tyson in the game. I don't think that we'll get Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury in the game because they're locked in with EA, which is unfortunate because they definitely need to be in eSports Boxing Club. And unfortunately, I made a video a while back saying that their inclusion in the UFC games was a good sign that EA would potentially be working on another Fight Night game. But news has come out since then to where it pretty much debunks my video, and I think that I was wrong. EA just recently renewed their contract with the UFC. I can't remember if it's a 5 or a 10-year deal. I think it's a 10-year deal, but that pretty much spells the end of Fight Night. So, you know, eSports Boxing Club is the future, and I think the community is doing the right thing by showing it and giving it all the support that it needs to be successful. And before I move on, another heavyweight that I would love to see in this game, since we don't have Joshua, we won't have Fury, let's get Wilder in there. He has already expressed before that he would love to be in a video game, and we want him there. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out by saying on the roster is that the roster looks incredible, and it even has bigger room to grow, which is insane when you think about it. The depth is crazy. I can't wait to play this game and try out many fighters from different divisions and go from there. So we're going to move on to the next aspect of the trailer. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the graphics. And so far, I think Steel City is doing an amazing job with the visuals and presentation of eSports Boxing Club, as the boxers have a very photorealistic look that I think adds to the level of immersion and realism that they're trying to present in this game. Now, to be honest with you, I know a lot of people like to compare this game to Fight Night Champion, and which is understandably so because that's the most recent boxing game that we've had. But in my honest opinion, this game gives me strong Fight Night Round 3 vibes. The way the lighting looks, the way the realism of the boxers look, I don't know, it just has a strong Fight Night Round 3 look to it. And that's a good thing because a lot of people consider Fight Night Round 3 to be the best in the series. I like that game a lot. If it was online, I would still play it to this day. Hopefully they don't incorporate the pairing system, which, you know, for the time it was good, but now looking back in retrospect, I think it kind of broke the game because you basically have fighters sitting there looking like crickets when they're trying to move their arms around trying to parry a punch. And that definitely takes away from the level of realism for any boxing games. So I don't think that Steel City is going for that kind of system in their game, and I think that's for the better. But graphically, I think it looks good. Fight Night Round 3 has aged incredibly well and still is one of the best looking game systems for that time and even today. And, you know, I think they're doing a good job, and compared to what we've had recently, you know, that's a step up. So kudos to them for the graphics. And one thing that I do want to point out as well is the damage. There's a picture on here that I've got on the screen of Josh Taylor getting a cut on his eye, and that cut looks nasty. And if that's the kind of damage that we'll be able to do in this game, oh, I can't wait to fuck some people up and bust some heads and bust some eyes. Now, one thing about this part of the gameplay aspect that I do want to point out is that I hope that they get the right amount of balance between arcade and simulation. And what I mean by that is like I said before, you're gonna have a lot of Canelo cheesers in the game. And with right now, with the way Canelo fights which is his insane power and his insane punching, you're going to leave opportunities to where if you hit somebody one time in the eye, that could stop the fight right there. Look what happened with his fight between him and Billy Joe Saunders, if you want to know more of what I'm saying. And the reason why I think that could be a potential problem in a video game is you don't want to, you know, have a fight going on and then just bang, one shot and their eye is busted up and it stops the fight. Yes, it does happen in real life in boxing, but you got to find that right balance between a fun video game or you're selling out the fun for the sake of realism. And I hope that they find that balance to where we can still have that fun, but also have that realism at the same time, to where, you know, you don't get Canelo'd with one punch and your eye orbital bone is busted and you can't continue to fight. So I'm confident that they'll strike the right balance in that. So we'll see. So let's move on to the next section. And what I want to talk about next is the movement and the footwork in this game, or as Deontay Wilder likes to call it, the feet work. I think the feet work in this game looks incredible. In fact, I feel like that is the most important and most impressive part of Esports Boxing Club right now, is how fluid the movement of the boxers are, how their feet shuffle with every movement, and also how you can use that movement to get out of certain situations. There's one movement in the trailer that I saw that was really, really impressive to me, is the check hook in the game. I think the check hook and the way you can just punch and then get out the way, that is going to be a very, very, very integral part of the game itself and part of boxing in terms of mastering the art of hitting and not getting hit. And I think that esports is trying to replicate that same aspect in boxing in their video game, and it really shows. I like how different boxers move each different way. No boxer moves the same, and when it comes to that kind of level of movement, that's really, really going to open up the meta on how to use certain fighters. And one thing too that I liked is how Joe Frazier, he has this move in the game where he just runs up to you and just throws a slamming left hook. And I'm talking like he's just running all the way across the ring, and I think that is crazy good. You know, and if they're gonna have that kind of level of detail and movement in the game, if they ever do put Deontay Wilder in the game, I really hope that they have this move where he does a Euro step from one end of the ring to the other. If y'all know what I'm talking about, I'll put it in the video, but he basically does a Euro step all the way across the ring just to start banging on his opponent for the knockout. Some of the craziest shit I've seen, and if they could put that into the game, that would be great. One thing that I do want to give a level of criticism about though is the punching. Now, it looks like in this trailer, I think that they've shown this game from older versions, older builds of the game, as some of the punching looks, in my opinion, not that good. It looks very janky and just has a very sloppy look to it. And honestly, I think that's going to be the downside of the game if they can't get the punching correct, as I think Fight Night has a much more superior advantage when it comes to the punching, and I think that's the best part of it, is that they nailed that down pat. I do like the ragdoll physics that they're going for. There's a part in the trailer where a dude gets knocked out on the ropes and is just dangling there, and you know, when it comes to boxing, you gotta have some ragdoll physics. That was the best thing that I loved about Fight Night, the earlier PS2 Fight Night games, was the physics. But back on the punching on Esports Boxing Club, I think it looks a tad bit janky, and they need to really focus on fine-tuning that. Now, it's not all the punches that look like that. Some of them do look good. I do like, again, the check hook, which I think is, that's phenomenal. That looks great. And I love the check hooks and some of the other punches like the right hooks and some of the haymakers. However, I think the jabs in the game look really flimsy. It's like their arms are not connected to their body, if that makes any sense. I don't know, I'm not really a fan of how the punching looks right now in Esports Boxing Club, but you know, they've They're putting out consistent gameplay updates every month, and Steel City has been very transparent with the fans on, you know, where they're at, and really open to listening to feedback. So my biggest feedback or point of criticism that I would have, constructive criticism, is to continue to refine the punching mechanics of the game, as I think that is going to be the most important part of the gameplay. And you know, it's boxing, so you gotta have the punches correct, or you know, it's gonna make or break the game. So I really hope that they fix that part of it and continue to improve on it, as I think overall the presentation of the game looks amazing. I think that they're saying all the right things in terms of getting the community hyped for it. And also too, they also have a feature that I'm looking forward to the most, is the online community that will be able to have different types of belts sponsored by the WBC, the WBO, and a few other major sanctioning body organizations within boxing. And the fact that you'll be able to have an online esports title that you're going to be able to defend, that opens the floodgates on the kind of content that YouTubers can create, the kind of content that I plan on creating myself. Because make no mistake about it, LX Dark Sniper is esports boxing. And I'm not just saying that just to toot my own horn, but you can go back and look at my channel. Before ESBC was conceptualized, there was only one person that was talking about esports boxing on social media and on YouTube, and that's yours truly. I plan on taking this game extremely seriously, because my goal is to unify and be the undisputed esports boxing champion of the world. I said it. So Steel City Interactive has their work cut out for them. The more and more this project grows, the bigger this game gets, and the higher the pressure. So I hope that they do succeed. I want them to succeed. We need them to succeed, so that way we, the gamers, can get a quality product and be able to play this game for many years to come. So with that said, I'll close out this video in saying that Esports Boxing Club is the future. For any combat sports gamers, I look forward to seeing you all in the virtual arena. And I'm really excited at the prospect of a lot of the big name MMA YouTubers are also covering this game and will be joining the virtual boxing ring in the future. And I say welcome. The more the merrier. And it's not just MMA YouTubers that are coming over, but there's also notable FGC names that are also going to be in the virtual boxing ring. So I really look at this as a great opportunity for growth, and for the Esports Boxing Club to really have the biggest names and the best competition that anyone could ask for. Now, as far as any future ESBC coverage, I will be providing coverage on my own, but I also would like to recommend some of these YouTubers who've done a great job on covering this game since its announcement. So please go check out Boxing Fanatico, who's done an amazing job on being forthright and upcoming and also engaging with the ESBC and their developers. And also check out Sports Gamers Online, who always does a good job on covering any boxing, fight night, ESBC, and all other sports games. And also check out Concept Reese, who's also another up-and-coming YouTuber who's providing extensive ESBC coverage. Right now, he's currently under 1,000 subscribers at the moment. No pun intended, but I do think that his channel is punching well above his weight. So please do me a favor and go subscribe to his channel if you want more ESBC coverage. And also check out Usic Gaming, an up-and-coming YouTuber who's providing great Fight Night Champion footage. Just reached 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations to you, man. And keep up the good work and keep on providing that fire SBC updates and content. And as far as myself, I'll be providing content as well. And I hope you guys like this video and let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Overall, in short, I think Esports Boxing Club sounds very promising, but it still does need a lot of work. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with the next update. Well, my name is LX Sniper, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Peace.